Welcome to April's Garage, the greatest automotive channel in all of YouTube land. And next to me, I have a beautiful 1970 Chevelle. And I gotta tell you, our friend Dwayne lent it to us. I had to take him up on it because it is Tyler's arch nemesis. When you say Chevelle around Tyler, he starts to twitch and shake, and it makes him feel really uncomfortable.
It does trigger my PTSD a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't like Chevelles. It's because the first time that I was doing block coverage, so the guy up on the block, not what you and I would do out in the field where we do one hit on a car every 30 minutes or 15 minutes or so with Barrett Jackson's live TV coverage. I had to think of something to say with every single car, and this was my first time doing it in New Orleans. And one day there was about 20 or 25 Chevelles.
Right.
And that is a big blind spot for me, so I lost my mind. I was, every time a Chevelle came across the block, I was just like, no, not another one. And yeah, Chevelles haunted my dreams for, well, still to this day, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, it's hard with any car if they follow one after the other because you have to find something cool and innovative and fun to say that not everybody knows because you're supposed to be educational. But when you have 7 Chevelles in this generation go by you and you have to say something unique about each one, that could be a little nerve-wracking.
And I have no first-hand experience, so I'd never driven one of these until this one. You know,
seriously?
So never driven a Chevelle. So
what?
I've owned Mustangs, I've owned several generations of Corvettes.
Yeah,
Charger. I've never owned, say, an old Camaro or an old Chevelle, even though I like them. So that's another thing where I can't really draw from experience. And I definitely didn't live during the time of these, you know, in their heyday, because 1970 is the year.
It absolutely is.
And this one is a great spec, so shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
So last year when I did have to talk about 30 or 40 Chevelles and had to think of something unique to say about all of them, I did study up.
Okay.
And it's been a while, but I think I still have all the facts straight. So you can fact check me, I suppose. Yeah, 1964, birth of the Chevelle,
Okay, very good.
And they look like basically big Impalas.
Yeah, they're cool, but they look like 60s old school cars.
Right, so 64, it looked like an Impala. 65, they looked kind of different. 66, I think it was raked in even more. And then the 67, more of the same with that. Then the taillights wrapped all the way around.
Yeah.
68, though, was the big body style change where they went to this style of body. 69, changed it a little bit, but 70 is the year for a lot of reasons, right?
I can't believe you remembered all of that.
It is traumatizing a little bit, but yes, 1970 for the look, of course, right?
Oh, yeah, well, they still kept the quad headlights, which went away in 71, and of course, the iconic body just swooping all the way back and this huge pillar back here. I mean, this is American muscle at its finest. Right.
And the rear treatment was much cooler on these as well. This one has the rally stripes, black on black interior. But the other big deal for 1970 was they offered the 454 big block, and not through some weird Copo thing or anything, because it was the 427 before that. You could actually order a 454 and you could get the LS5 or you could get the LS6, and that is the big tamale, which has, you know, 450 horsepower, stronger internals, all that stuff. This one is an LS5, so it is a 454 car, and an SS, I believe in 1970, you could know if it was a real SS, because before that, like, there's no way to VIN decode an SS whether it's real or not. So every single Chevelle is an SS because everybody's going to up-badge them. There's no way to verify it unless it was sold through Canada. What's like Canada? See, all this stuff is still in my head.
That's good. You're going to need it for the future.
Right. So this one is really cool. LS6 is the King Daddy, but this one is pretty darn close, and you can see it does have the cowl induction hood as well. Why don't we pop the hood so we can see how that works,
I gotta take these hood pins off.
There we go. Okay. Yes.
So is this the original engine?
All right. Up we go. Yes, this is an LS5 car, and you can see the cowl induction is controlled by vacuum. It's not an electric motor. So actually, when you turn off the car, that's why it pops up, because there's no vacuum. Same when you floor it, it actually pulls the vacuum and operates that flap. And that way you get fresh air coming in through that flap coming up and going into the air cleaner, just extra grabbing of air. It's really cool. It's the Chevelle party trick, you know?
Yeah, no, that's what you want when you're looking at Chevelles and specs. This is exactly what you want.
And this one, crazy, crazy clean. Whoa.
I know, what does Dwayne do? Like every night, he just takes like a toothbrush and just like scrubs it in there.
Well, I do know he is very particular because when he was boat shopping, I knew he wanted a particular Cobalt, which is made in Kansas. I think it took 10 years for him shopping for one before he bought one.
Really?
Same when he got his Porsche. I think we talked Porsches for years and years before he finally pulled the trigger on the perfect one, a GT3 manual transmission.
Yeah.
Great investment.
Of course.
And I know he's loved Chevelles forever. He's been talking about it ever since I went to Barrett-Jackson as a kid. That's how I learned about cowl induction back in 2004 or so with him going with my dad and me to the auction.
Yeah.
And I knew this was the car that he always wanted. So it's really cool that he picked this up last year. And he did get an incredible example that looks like it's had a full rotisserie restoration, because this isn't original, but it's all correct, obviously. Yeah. Power steering. I don't think you get AC with the big block. I'm not sure if it was an option or not, but yeah, super nice.
Wait, so there's no, do you know it's like 100 degrees outside?
Right.
And there's no AC.
No, and same with like the 426 Hemi cars. You couldn't option them with AC, so you
Right.
had to get a 440 to get air conditioning, say on a Superbird or a Roadrunner or something like that. But yeah, you got natural AC with the windows down. The black Naugahyde bench, I'm sure that's great for the sun, you know?
Oh my gosh, this is like a heater just soaking up the sun and burning your skin when you sit on it. That is gonna be wild. That's not the Rock Crusher.
You know, I don't know on that one. It is a Muncie branded shifter, but I'm not sure if they still call them Rock Crusher. It certainly doesn't feel like, say, an older Corvette transmission in it, but it's certainly possible.
Still got the body by Fisher.
Right.
Down there. I love these door panels. They're just very sleek, classy design. These are really, really, really neat cars. And of course, 70 is the year that you want. I'm just not sure that you understand. You want me to drive this.
Yes.
Your friend's car, and you want me to drive it.
You've been getting much better with manual transmission, so I feel confident that you can do it.
But have you seen
It is beautiful. It is mint. He did give permission for you to drive it.
It's black, and if there's any like scratches and dents, like gleam on black paint. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It'll be fine.
No, it won't be
You were very
fine.
scared with my grandmother's car. Like, once again, you're the one with anxiety now. So
I have serious manual anxiety right now.
it's easier than the Corvette. Yeah.
The Corvette was tough.
Right.
The clutch was really hard.
Right. This one is a lot easier.
Are you sure?
You ready? Come on. Yeah, let's go. I'll pull it out for you. That way you don't hit anything else, all right? And then it's all yours.
Okay.
Hey, if you watch the cowl hood when I start it up, it should suck down.
Whoa. That is so cool.
Isn't that neat? And look at the gauges. Look at all this. And then there's a plaque on here. Yes, it's fast. Yes, it's mine. No, you can't drive it.
I love that. That was not original. Dwayne put that in there.
Well, except April Rose. I'll pull it out for you, and then you can do the taxiway, all right?
Okay.
All right, we're off.
Whew.
See, you got this.
This is full boomer glory right here.
Right? Go ahead and shift it in a second.
Where are we going?
Straight
Back?
down, yeah. Easy peasy.
Well, it wasn't too bad.
Right.
It is better than the Corvette.
Way easier clutch, way smoother shifter. So yeah, I'm not sure if they call it the Rock Crusher by now because it's a lot easier to drive.
Right.
So, yeah.
Do you know how many 60-year-old men I could pick up in this?
A lot.
They're going to be drooling, baby.
Right.
That's where it's at. This is very comfortable.
Right, just a nice cushy bench seat. Easy, soft, pliable ride. This is not a handling sports car or anything. It is, well, sort of a luxury cruiser first that they made into a muscle car, you know? So all it's good for is stoplight, drag racing. Anything else and it would sort of fall flat on its face. Why don't you give it a little gas?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. Okay, I'm going clutch in and then brake.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's good. Okay, I'm not as nervous as I was, but I can't go on civilian roads. I don't feel comfortable.
So?
It's your friend's car.
Okay, I'll drive it.
I think you need to drive it and show me what it's really got.
Absolutely.
It only goes up to 120, apparently.
Well, yeah, it's more of that stoplight instant, you know, I'm not gonna clutch dump and burn out all that stuff in a car this nice that's not mine, but yeah, sure, let's switch. Oh yeah, just beautiful. Listen to that. God. All right, well, you're about to witness pro-level YouTuber right here as far as working the gears and driving.
I don't know how you do that.
But yeah, a lot of body roll into the corners on this thing, but the power steering is a must-have with these. Does make it very easy to drive. I think that's the biggest surprise for me.
Yeah.
Is how easy this is compared to, say, just a few years older Camaro or a Corvette with that, you know, stiffer clutch and yeah, that harder shifting transmission where you have to sort of think about it. This one, it is very smooth and easy in that sense.
Is it what you expected? I can't believe you've never driven this second generation Chevelle ever.
No.
Out of all the cars you've driven in the world.
Never ever. All right, we'll give it a little bit. Wow.
Woo!
There's that cow popping out. That's awesome.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That is smooth. And that is fast.
This thing feels really dialed in. Yeah, the LS6 would be 450 horsepower.
Right.
I think better carburetor and beefed up internals and such. But this does not feel slow. I wonder if it's been built up a little bit.
Oh,
I think these were high 300s from the factory.
It has to have been. This is cool. Now I get it. I get why you like the Chevelle. I love the bench seat. There's room in it. It's just, this is a fun ride. So are you in the market for a Chevelle?
I don't know about that. The 78 Trans Am that's in the hangar, I guess this does drive similarly, but it is a lot faster. But you know, both my parents in high school had 77, 78 Trans Ams, and so they always talked about it. And they bought that one almost 20 years ago. So, and I've seen Smokey and the Bandit probably 100, 200 times. So if I'm going to get like a big Fisher body car, it'd probably be that, even though this one has way more go.
That is Boomer Paradise, baby! Woo!
I don't know. I feel like this car will continue to have big appeal to future generations, and you know, getting something that's old school analog like this that drives so nice. I hate to say it, but the resto mods of these, you know, the modernization of them has brought in a whole new generation of buyers. But even in the 80s, 90s, there was a lot of these muscle cars in movies, and kids growing up saw that. So I don't think enthusiasm for these will die out as much as people think, you know, with the boomer generation.
Well, and do you think people are going to start resto modding these into electric cars? I feel like that's wrong, but that's where it's going to go.
I don't know. I'm seeing, it makes sense for me with like a big boat cruiser Cadillac, you know, where it's just all about the ride and the quietness and the smoothness, where an electric vehicle would be a good application. But with this, you're buying it to make that noise, to make the cowl induction go. Like you're losing a huge part of what makes you want to buy this. Right,
the noises, the smells, and everything involved in it. This is old school. Internal combustion at its best.
Yes, I agree, and I love your noises and smells too. Thank you so much for watching.